Hello, all of my beautiful crafty friends. Danny Garola here with Stampin' the Pink Barn, coming to you from a nice, bright, and sunny Tucson, Arizona. I am trying something different today. Sorry I was late. I don't know what my device is doing here. I'm trying to find myself live, and for some reason, it is not letting me see myself. Well, I do see a couple of you guys popping in here, so obviously something must be working, but, I have no clue why I cannot see myself in my other device. It's not even showing, and look, I'm turning my whole thing here because I'm being silly. What is happening right now? Facebook went through some major changes. I will tell you guys that much. They did do this thing where we cannot or can no longer share through different platforms. They're not allowing that anymore. You can be live on Facebook, but like some of the team members that we have, they will go live on Zoom and then they can still stream through Facebook. So then you're still live in a couple of different platforms. Facebook has done away with that. They don't want third-party platforms happening any longer. So yeah, that's a thing. So with that, a lot of other things have changed. Like I just tried to go live a few minutes ago and it wouldn't let me flip my camera around. So I had to completely leave the video, come back in with my phone already flipped, then it let me do it. So things are goofy, trying to figure everything out. And like I said, my device is not letting me see that I'm live. So I see a couple of you guys found me in here. I have no idea. Hello, Peggy. Hello, Frida. You know what's weird? Frida, you just said that it says that I was live 2 days ago. Yeah, that's wild. I wasn't live 2 days ago, but when I went in earlier today to look at this event to make sure that, because of things changing, it actually told me that I was going live tomorrow. But then when I looked at the date, it said the 13th. And then when I went out of my events, and I found it back on my page actually said that I was going live today. So I don't have any idea. I even had my son log in to Facebook and have him look at my page to see when it said, like for you guys who were seeing it, when did it say that I was going to be live? When he went into it and he went into my events and stuff, sorry, my hair is a hot mess. I just threw it up. I was too hot today. I was out gardening. So when he looked at it, it in fact said that I was going live today. So I don't know. I think Facebook is going to have to play catch up right now because of the new settings that they have created and done. So I don't know. I can't tell you why they do the things that they do, but it's frustrating. I'm going to have a milk mustache, a chocolate milk mustache. That's always a good thing, but I am going to need my eyes here. So I hope you guys all had a wonderful Mother's Day, whether you be a birth mother, a stepmother, a fur baby mother, a farm mother, whatever it may be, you still take on that role in your life. Happy Mother's Day to you all. I hope you guys had a very wonderful day. My family made mine very special for me. My mom bought me a big sign. It's a big metal sign. This is not it, but I was just pointing to the barn in reference to the sign that she got me. It is a big rustic metal sign that it's kind of black with a little bit of rustic color, rustic rust look on it, but it says, "My barn, my rules." I was like, because we know that our barn is going to be being delivered like any day now. We're just waiting for the phone call. So she got me this sign and she goes, look, she goes, wouldn't this be so cool to be able to put behind you when you do your videos? And I was like, absolutely. Then I found out that my son had ordered me, it's taking a little bit longer because it has to be customly made on it, but it's this big round and I cannot wait till it gets here so I can share it with you guys. But it's 18 inches round and it has a barn with a big windmill and then it's got some clouds, but it's all a silhouette. It is a very, very dark, almost like a Java, maybe even black, big metal sign. And it will say across the bottom, you can either put like your farm name or your last name or something like that. But he ordered it where it says the Pink Barn. So I can't wait. He made it customly for me. He was totally thinking of something out of the norm to get me. So I thought that was really, really like creative of him and clever that he went that far. Hello, Karen. So so my husband brought me home. It is called a snail vine. He brought me home this really big, beautiful tree. It more looks like a bush, but it says it's a vine tree. And it's got these really pretty, beautiful purple flowers on it. And I have put it against our fence because then it can grow down the fence and then kind of shade some of the other plants that I have in front of it. Last Tuesday, my husband and I went to a big, huge nursery that we have here. And we got my mom a beautiful palm tree. She's always wanted a palm tree. And we live in a climate now where she can have a palm tree. So we got her a palm tree and they had giant birds of paradise on sale. So we got her one of those as well. She has just planted these great big, they're called giant elephant ears. She is a major green thumb. I swear she can bring any plant back if it is dying. Myself, this is kind of my first year into really taking gardening seriously and doing my research and all those kinds of things. And we'll see how that goes because I've never been able to even keep fake plants alive. No, just kidding. But that's pretty much me. It's one of those things that I don't really grow household plants. When you've got animals, it's hard because, you know, we've always had cats and we have a dog and all this kind of stuff. And typically they like to eat my plants. So I normally don't have indoor plants. Hello, Kay. Hello, Linda. Welcome, you guys. For some reason, my phone is just stuck. Who knows? So, we also bought, it was this really neat thing. It's called Tears of something. It is a hanging plant and it's got these little, they almost look like peas, but they hang and it's called Tears of something. I can't remember the other word to it. So I bought myself one of those because then I figured if I can hang it, then none of our animals can get to it. And then I actually planted my Christmas cactus in a hanging planter as well. So again, animals can't attack that. So we'll see how this year pans out for us. When we did buy the pepper plants, it already had a lot of little jalapeno peppers on it. So that was wonderful to already see that, I gotta turn that off, that it already had nice growth already out on it. So that was my Mother's Day. What else was I gonna share with you guys? I was gonna ask you guys a question and now I can't remember, of course. Oh, it has to do with the kits. So when I get flipped around and I show you what we're going to do, I will then ask you, because I have quite a few people, when they place an order with me on a weekly basis, they, before, you know, especially if it's somebody new, they have questions about how the kits come. So I kind of want to throw it out to you guys who do order, place orders with me and get my kits. I'm going to kind of just give you guys a different idea and then you guys can let me know whether yay or nay what you think. So when I get you flipped around and I show you this week's kit, we will get to that. But first I have to drink this wonderful coffee that she made me. It's chocolate. Ooh, that's beautiful. We had company last week who came down from Utah. I thought they lived in Idaho for some crazy weird reason, but they live in Idaho or Utah, and so they came down and spent the week with us. So that was so nice having them here. She's pretty much my aunt. That's what I will call her. So she came down, and her and her husband, they stayed here and visited with us, which was so nice to have her here. She went on walks with my mom every day, which was so nice. My mom had to get to visit with her, which is really good since my mom doesn't really leave the house very often. And then yesterday, our neighbors, they actually are from Oregon as well. So they moved down here like a year before we moved here. But they are camp hosts. And they used to do it up in Oregon. They used to drive back and forth every year. And they were camp hosts up at different campgrounds up in Oregon. But he had went through some health issues, so they decided to stay more local. So they go up to Sedona every year now and are a camp host up there. But they come home periodically to do laundry and all that kind of stuff and do big grocery shopping and that kind of stuff. But they came home over the weekend. They wanted to spend Mother's Day at home. So when they got in, they invited my parents for Mother's Day to go out and have lunch, which I think is just crazy because if you've ever gone out to eat on Mother's Day, it's just crazy. But I guess they found a restaurant that they had already made reservations for the day before. So that was pretty cool. And they had a good time enjoying their meal out. So that's great. So yeah, so I think that is pretty much everything that has happened here within the last week. Yeah, I think it was kind of an eventful week, if I could speak. Had a lot going on. I went over and hung out with my friends and had a bonfire, which was awesome. I love it when it gets cool here at night because right now we still have weather where it's warm during the day, but then it drops like 30 degrees at night. It gets so much cooler at night that you can have a bonfire and it still feels very nice and toasty. Now, during the summer, when you have a bonfire, you want to sit like 10 feet away from it because it's still 100 degrees out at night and bonfires are just not fun at that point. Okay, I see quite a few of you guys coming in here. I don't know, for some reason, my phone is stuck and it will not tell me who else has come in, but it looks like I can see Becky has come in. So hello, Becky, welcome. Hello, Kay. All right, you guys, I'm going to get you guys flipped around. We are going to talk about just a few things. I do have mystery stamping come up, so we will talk about that as well. So hold tight. Let me get you guys flipped around here. Okay, let's see here. Look, you guys, I actually fixed my little desk sign. Woohoo! I've been meaning to do it and I keep forgetting. So today, before I ran over here, I was like, I better get that sign fixed. So we now have a new paper pumpkin that we have just started. It is called the Sweet Life. And on this brochure, it's not in color. I'll have to see if the new one is in color. But the in color for this is going to be our peach pie, which is this wonderful color right here. And I'm actually going to be using this today on one of the cards that I'm going to make. That is the in color. This is running from May 11th through June 10th is when you can subscribe to the Life is Sweet paper pumpkin. It also will coordinate with our Thanks and Beyond dies. It says, celebrate the sweet things in life with textured artistic cards. Make 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes, iridescent glimmer sentiments, and pre-cut paper pieces, vellum accents, iridescent pearls, and linen thread. And so it says, oh, well, that was before when it said it was going to be featuring one of the colors April 2nd. So we already know that. So that is available. You can, I have posted it here on my Facebook page that you can go to and read all about that. Also, we have our starter kit special right now. This is our in color starter kit. So with this, you are going to not only get to pick $125 worth of product of your choice, and still only pay that $99. You will have to pay taxes, whatever your taxes are, but you get free shipping with that. You will get a free paper pumpkin in there. You're going to get a pack of catalogs to share with your family and friends. And on top of all of that, you are also going to get the 4 in color products along with that. So you're going to get your, this comes in the 5 colors. It is your 2024, 2026 in color Stampin' Right markers. You're going to get the in color designer series paper. You're going to get your cardstock, which comes in all 5 colors as well. And then all 5 of your ink pads. So this is a fabulous deal. It says it's an $82 value right here that you're going to get on top of your already $125 of your choice of products. So this is a fabulous time to join. Now, I want you to know that you do not have to join my team as a business builder. Probably 85% of or 89% of people who join the team do this as a discount shopper. So what does that mean? What is a discount shopper? That means you are going to get a discount on all your orders from then forward, because you're going to be placing orders under yourself because you are going to be your demonstrator at that point. So just to let you guys know that. Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you so, so much. Hello, Anna. So yes, it is a wonderful time to join. Even if you just want to get your hands on some product, it is a great time to do that. Even if you never place an order for yourself or do anything like that, and you just want to get your hands on this free product along with picking your $125, then it is the best way to go. Mystery stamping. So mystery stamping is coming up this week on Wednesday, the 15th. Or no, hold on. Yep, that's right. The 15th. I thought I had that right. I will be going live here on Facebook. So if you guys are interested in that, I have already created the event for that. You can also go over to stampinthepinkbarn.com. And there is a little tab on the right-hand side under categories that says mystery stamping. If you click on that, you're going to read all about this month, May, the products that the supplies that you're going to need and all that are already been listed. There's also a picture of what I have chosen to give away for this month's mystery stamping. So you can check out all the details over there. You have to be a part of my private group, which is Stampin' or Pink Barn Stampers here on Facebook. So if you would like to join us and you want to participate in the card making for mystery stamping, please join Pink Barn Stampers group. That is one of my affiliated groups that we share tons of inspiration. And just, you know, as a whole, we all kind of just craft together and talk, answer questions, all that kind of stuff. If you're looking for anything and you have a question, you can ask on there. And 9 times out of 10, if it's not me that doesn't have an answer for you, there's somebody on there that will answer you. That's so yummy. Okay, so that is for all of that. I am going to go ahead and do our giveaways from last week. So last week we made these 3 beautiful cards using the Unbound Beauty. And so for this first card, this is going to be given away for all of you guys who hit that like button down below. Throw me up some little thumbs, throw me up some little hearts. That helps me immensely to grow my business here on Facebook. So this card for the person who liked, this is going to be going to Miss Peggy Brandon. So Peggy, this is going to be going out in the mail to you. Very, very beautiful. It says, happy birthday. May all your wishes come true. I love these 2 colors together. They are absolutely stunning. Okay, then for the next card, This one here is using the Petunia Pop along with the Pretty in Pink. Those are both our new in colors. And then I've used one of the labels from that collection. This one says, "Have a blessed day. You are loved." And so this one here is when you come in and you comment, let me know where you're watching me from. Just come in and say hi. You will get entered into the comments. This is going to go to Miss Bonnie Bletchell. So Bonnie, this is coming your way. Okay, the next card here, this is the last card that I had made in that series last week. I just created a little sympathy card here and just put "My heart goes out to you" with a couple of those little elements on the inside. I think that's so beautiful. Love the color combo in this. But I am going to be throwing in not only the card, but I am also going to be throwing in a package of the Pebbles enamel shapes. So these look like little pebbles that you can put, like if you have any kind of stamp set that has water, you know, anything like that. These are really, really pretty on that. Any kind of scenery. These are really fun for that. Now, when you share my video, I need you to, in the comments, let me know that you've shared it, because there are a lot of you, and I want you to keep it this way, who have privacy settings on your Facebook page that will not let me see who is shared. It tells me how many of you have shared, but it does not give me your name. And that's just for privacy, and that's great. But I need you to come back in and let me know that you've shared this video so I can get you entered into the drawing. Now, this is both for Facebook and for YouTube. If you're watching me live on YouTube, I need you to tell me on both. Also from YouTube, you will have to tell me that you have liked the video as well, because on YouTube, it only tells me the number of people, not every individual's name. So just come in, comment, let me know that you've liked and shared my video, and that'll get you guys entered into the drawing for prizes and cards. All right, so this card is going to Miss Cheryl Grimlick. I almost forgot the most important part, to let you guys know who is getting this card. So Cheryl, you are getting this along with the Pebbles enamel shape. So congratulations, you all. Thank you so much for all your wonderful support that you give me. I do truly appreciate every single one of you. Okay, so for today, we are using the Mediterranean Blooms Sweet Collection. Primarily the Citrus Blooms along with the Citrus Blooms dies. I will also be using the Designer Series paper with this. And I am also using the Opal Rounds assortments, which you'll see right here. So if you like this whole collection, right up here at the top, there is a Sweet Collection code. If you punch that in to your order, it's going to add all of these things into your cart at once, instead of having to try to put in the bundle and this number down here, and then come over here and try to find number 3 and make sure you get that in there. This will put all these items into your cart at once, just so you know that. There is some beautiful inspiration over here. And then along with me sharing with the cards that I'm going to create with you guys, let me show you this paper. This is called the Mediterranean Blooms paper. This is the Designer Series paper. So with this, you have, as you can see right here, this coordinates with so many of our cardstock colors. So this is a great pack that, say you don't have all of our card collection, which is fine, but you probably have at least a couple of these colors in your collection, that this is a wonderful paper that will coordinate with a lot of the cardstock that you have. So this is going to coordinate with Balmy Blue, Boho Blue, Cajun Craze, Daffodil Delight, Early Espresso, Garden Green, Lemon Lolly, Night of Navy, Old Olive, Peach Pie, and Pumpkin Pie. So as you can see, you've got some really pretty blues in here. Like if you flip this over, you have more of like a tiled pattern. And then on the opposite side, you've got your fruits and little flowers and stuff here. Now, I will tell you that with one of these papers, the dies actually coordinate with it. So I'm going to, I think it might be actually this one up here because I don't think it was the lemons. I think it was the peaches, or maybe those are oranges. They can be whatever you want them to be. But in this instance, I think it's probably an orange because those do look like orange blossoms. So we'll just go with that. Anyways, it will die cut the exact image out of your designer series paper, which is really, really cool. So just wanted to share that with you so you can see the different papers. And the way that I have these arranged on here, this is the front, this is the back. This is the front, this is the back. So then you'll see exactly what you're getting on the flip side of those designer papers. Okay, so these are the 3 cards that I'm going to create with you guys tonight. Aren't they beautiful? Oh, love this set. I'm really loving the color combos in with these. So we are going to get down and busy making this. Now, you know that when you place an order of $35 or more with me, now that is before shipping and tax, and you must use my host code here. This is my May host code. You are going to get a kit in the mail that looks just like this. It's going to have all 3 of your cards in here, already individually done into each envelope. So all of your pieces will be tucked inside. Now the front of your card will be on the front side of your card base, and the inside of your card will be on the inside of your card base, just so you know. So I try to keep things separated for you guys so it's easier to find. Now, my question for you guys is, when I send you guys, I'm going to just pull this one out because this is our first card here. When I go to send this out, I always try to make sure that I die cut all the little pieces that you're going to need. Now, my question is, when I send you guys a card that, let's just use this card for instance, right? No, actually I'm gonna use this one right here because this is the one that actually got me thinking about this. See this little banner right here? That is this little white die cut little banner. It's going to be hard to stamp perfectly in that. But I understand that not all of you guys are going to have these stylish shapes dies that I use. So that being said, would you prefer that I still, because right now I will normally always cut out the banners and give them to you and let you have a shot of trying to stamp it in there. Not saying that it's impossible, because if you have a Stamparatus or anything, any like mechanism like that, then you would be able to lay this in that, line your stamp up on it, pick up your window or your little door of your Stamparatus and then stamp on this, and then you could get it perfect. Or would you prefer that I just throw the scrap piece of white in there for something that is small like this? I need to know your guys' thoughts on that, because these kits are for you guys who are placing orders, and I know there's a lot of you guys who place orders from me, and I just want to make sure that it's not more of a frustration from you if I send you this little banner, and if you don't get it right the first time, and then you're like, oh geez, now my project is ruined, because that's totally not what I want for you guys. Or would you like me to just send you just the scrap, like obviously not this big, but just a scrap of white that will fit a banner like this, that you could then do your stamping first, use whatever die you have that is in kind of the same size perimeter, and have you cut it out? That is my question. I would love to hear from you guys and let me know what is easier or what you find to be a little less frustrating, because, you know, I want to make it easy for you guys to be able to make these cards, because that's the whole premise of me sending out kits. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. So for this card here, I am going to need a piece of thick white cardstock. And this is a 11 by 4 1/4. I have scored it at 5 1/2. Okay, so let me grab my bone folder. You are going to need a scrap. I've already brought these little thingies out here, so I'm gonna set those aside because we'll get to that as soon as we're on to that part. But for now, I just need my card front. I am also going to be using, these are strips that I have cut. They are 1-inch pieces, just the length of my masking paper here. So what I have done is I have grabbed a strip of the masking paper and I have just taken a full sheet and I have cut these in little 1-inch strips all the way down. I have taken the backing off of them so they are adhesive, because these are great for when you want to do any kind of a masking project, to do any kind of blending or anything on your paper, especially if you are going to be using a decorative masking. You could use this to hold it down or tape off certain spots. So that's what we're actually going to do with this. So I'm going to take this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to line my card base up just within my score line, or my little tick marks here on my glass mat. Now, if you don't have the glass mat, you probably have some of our grid paper. So if you have grid paper, you can do the same thing and you can lay this within the lines of your grid and tape this down with your masking tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, I'm going to line my card base up, and I'm going to line this up where it is a 1/4 of an inch in. So I'm just gonna watch those lines. It might be easier if I do this up closer for you guys so you guys can see where I'm actually in frame. I'm gonna tip my camera here just a bit. Let's hope that works. Yes, that's better. Okay, so watching my lines, I'm going to line this up where I've just gone in. Oops, I did that wrong. I want to go in 3/4 of an inch. That's what I meant. Okay, so I am leaving a 1/4 of an inch. See, I have put a 1/4 of an inch as my little line and move this up so it's a 1/2 inch into my card. And I'm going to do that all the way around. So I'm just going to see where this would be, take it over, and go to just my little 1/4 inch line out here. And this will help hold our, sorry, I probably just got really loud. I had to stand up to see what I was doing. This is gonna help hold our card base in place as well. Okay, just like that. There we are. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my peach pie. As you can see, I've already used these, and you can use these repeatedly until they lose all of their stickum, which takes quite a while. Going to get some of that ink just dispersed into my my brush a little bit better, and then I'm just gonna take this and I'm just gonna start going over this whole little masked off area. Now I don't have to worry because I've gone past my card base, so I know that I'm not gonna get that anywhere else on my card base, just in the center where I want it. So I want to bake both of my bottom corners darker than the center. So this is gonna be lighter than what I have down here. So I'm gonna really go in with the ink down towards the bottom. And the top corner. Now you could do it over here and over here, just 2 of your opposite corners. And just leave it kind of lighter throughout the center here, where it can kind of, almost like an ombre, where it kind of just gradients into the center. Okay, so I'm gonna call that good. I like that. Now, before I go any further and start removing all of this stuff, I'm going to take my black Stampin' Right marker, and I'm just going to flick some ink onto this without me wearing it. Just a little bit. There we go. And then I always like to take my pen and rub it on the inside to get all of that off, because see, you always wind up flicking ink on your hands. Okay, so now I'm just going to do this opposite of how I had originally put it on there. So I just keep my little bag here of this, and then I just place it now. When you first pull this out, I always stick it to my skin. I know that's kind of gross and you're gonna have like skin particles on there, but, or you can put it, I wouldn't go as far as putting it on a towel or anything like that, because it's gonna get too many, it's gonna lose too much of its stickum. But at least to kind of dull it down just a little bit so it doesn't rip your paper. Okay, now I need to take my chamois here really quick, wipe up my little mess there. Okay, get that to dry. Okay. Now, there is the front of our card base that we're going to be using. So I'm going to set that aside. What I need is a scrap of white. Now, this is a pretty big scrap, but it's going to work. I am going to be using, here is our Citrus Bloom stamp set. I actually want to use this stamp right here. So that is this one right here. And I need to get my bigger block. And I am going to grab my Memento. We're using Memento Black ink here. Okay, make sure that's nice and juiced up. And I'm just going to stamp this here once. And stamp it again twice. Right over here. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put that on there so I don't stick my hands in it. Move this over here. Take a drink of coffee. Okay, I have my blending pens here, so I'm going to be using that new color, that Peach Pie, along with my Old Olive, and then I have brought over my color lifter. So I'm gonna do that just on a couple of my little flowers. So what I'm gonna start out by doing is I'm going to grab my, which one is this? This is the light Old Olive. And I'm gonna come in here and I'm just going to color in my leaves. Now, I don't think there's a wrong way or a right way to color. So if you choose to do your dark shading first, then by all means do so. Then I'm gonna come in with my dark, and I'm going to just ever so slightly bring this in for my veins, just to add a little bit of depth. I used to think that it made a difference, but I don't think it does so much anymore now that I've been doing it for quite some time. Now, if you're blending it, then maybe you might want to go over it again with your light tone just to kind of get it to disperse a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna come in with the dark. Just kind of using light pressure. Okay, there's that one. Now I'm gonna show you I'm gonna do it the opposite way, and then you guys can decide which way you think it works best, if you can even tell a difference. So I'm gonna do the veins first. And then now I'm gonna come in with the light. And it does seem like everybody has a preference, so you do what works for you. I just want to show you doing it both ways, and then you can see if there is any bit of a difference, or if you like one way over the other. Or we can say, hey, there was no difference. That could be. All right, so there are our leaves. Okay, now we're gonna come in and we're going to do our peach, orange, whatever you wanna call it. Okay, so this is my dark. So over here, I'm gonna do the dark first because we did the dark first on this one. So what I'm doing is I'm just tapping on some of those little marks that they already have to show kind of the shadowing, I guess, of that fruit. So I'm just gonna come in here and kind of make that area a little bit darker. Especially here where the flower would be kind of under it. And then I'm just gonna go around the edge. Okay, now I'm going to come in with the light. And I'm just going to fill in and kind of blend in some of that darker with this light. And as most of you know, it will dry differently than what you see it right now. It will start to dry and come more of a true to color as that ink kind of starts dispersing through that paper. Okay, so for over here, I'm gonna take the wider tip and I'm gonna do the whole thing in light, like I did here and the leaves. I did the light first. And then I'm gonna come in with the dark, and then you guys can, again, see if there is any difference or see what you prefer. Okay, now I'm going to take the dark. Okay, so there is that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take the light and I'm going to come in here and color the insides of my flowers. Okay, and then I'm going to just very lightly just flick a little bit of color down on these little parts that still haven't opened up yet, and kind of do the same thing up in the center of these petals of these flowers. Just adding very little hints of that peach kind of on those little shadowing marks that are already in that stamped image. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. That's when I had told you that I was bringing in the lifter. So I'm going to use the lifter and I'm going to still use that same flicking motion, but this is really going to lighten up this color because a lifter removes color or moves it. So this just really makes it, maybe I should move it up here so you guys can see it a little bit better. So right here, I have just done a little bit of it. I haven't done this one yet. So as this dries, it's going to kind of move that color around a little bit. I just think it kind of softens it up, makes it a little less like harsh, because I want those petals to look soft. I'm not doing the center, I'm only doing the petal parts. Okay, just like that. All right, now I'm going to bring over the die cutting machine. Let me grab my plates here. Okay, I'm gonna use the little one for this. What order?
I'm having a library pickup.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, at Fry's. Did he tell you what time he was getting off tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, so I gotta grab my other plate. I forgot. I thought I had them both in my hand. Okay. So let me set this on here. Hopefully that'll, yep, that's gonna just work perfect. All right, now with this die set, this is a huge die set. So this, you get 2 full sheets of dies. This has a inside piece for all these little leaves. Then you have this piece here that will cut a kind of a bordered, this same outline shape, but with the leaves. And then you have the actual kind of big bordered die that you can use. Then you've got, again, with the big, where did I put the stamp set? With this big 3 fruit, you can cut this one with. Then this one here is gonna go with this. And then you've got a bunch of leaves in here. You've got the different size flowers that you can cut from either here, or on the paper, the designer series paper. And then you've got some neat little, they almost look like stars, but they could be flowers as well. So I need this die right here to fit that one. Now the stamp is clearly quite a bit bigger than what you're seeing on the picture. So this is gonna get set right like so. I'm gonna line that up. Grab a piece of my tape there to hold that in place. I didn't line something up correctly. Hold on. Nope, it's because my paper was longer than my die there. That's why that wasn't working. Okay, there's my first one. Okay, there's that. And then we will do the second one. Just like so. All right, so there's that. The next thing we're going to need is we're going to need a scrap of old olive. Now with this, you're going to need the big one here. I have done that one twice. So these two are the same size. They're just going opposite ways. You have this longer one, and then you've got one that almost has like 2 little arms coming off of it. So I have done this one twice and this one once. And so, as you can see, I come out with 2 of the longer ones. And then that one that has almost like those 2 little arms coming off of it. For this, I also need a scrap of Night of Navy for our sentiment. And then we need our card base back over here. So I need to have some dimensionals. We're gonna use some of the big dimensionals. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of dry fit these on here the way that I want them to be. Kind of go down just a little bit more like so. I'm leaving the darker spots in the corners a little bit, you know, I want those to be shown more. So that's why I'm arranging these going this way. And that's why I did those 2 corners in the dark. Okay, I'm just going to rando put some dimensionals on here. Okay, that's gonna go right like so. And I do like leaving some of them coming off of that shape that I just made. I really kind of like that, so then it doesn't look like it's just uniformed and tight in that. Okay, that one's gonna go right like, I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit so it looks like it's more falling. And then I'm gonna take some of these and I'm just going to tuck them in behind here, and I can move them around depending on wherever those dimensionals are to make that work. But I think that's kind of how I want that to look, just to kind of fill in some of that space. So you can either cut this to make it shorter if you're not getting it tucked in there fully. But then just take a little bit. You can either use a mini glue dot, you can just use your regular green glue and just kind of run it just on a couple of those leaves because you're tucking it up in underneath that anyways. So I like that right there. I think I actually want that more over to this side. Okay. Then I'm going to take this one. Do I want this one over here? Yep, I think I like that. Okay. So then again, take a little bit of glue, and you can put these however you want them. Have that kind of sticking out over there. And then this one is gonna go right here. Hello, Christy. Well, I know we're not supposed to say that card making is therapeutic, but I'm telling you, when I sit down to make a card, it's therapeutic for me. This is my therapy. And I know we can't advertise this as therapy, but the way I see it, it is very therapeutic. Now, as I'm looking in my camera, I can definitely see the one that we did here where we added that dark color to it has actually taken more of the depth of the dark than this one up here. Because now we can definitely see the difference. The leaves, I don't notice it as much, but I really notice it in here. So that was kind of a good way of you guys to see the difference with adding it after or adding the dark before. So I really think now seeing this kind of in true life, I like it that adding the dark at the end after I color the whole thing in the light. Just saying, you guys can pick what way you like it. Okay, so that is what we need for that. So now we're going to take, now I have not used this in a long time, but I thought, you know what? Hey, it's a way of kind of showing a different way of doing something. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my paper trimmer, get this stuff out of the way. I'm going to cut this down to about, I believe, 1/2 inch will work, like so. Yeah, see, you like the bottom one better too. I agree. And that was a good thing to show so you guys can actually see the difference because, again, everybody has their own process. And I've never really thought that it mattered much. But seeing that is actually like, you know, you can see the difference. All right, so here's my little 1/2 inch piece. I'm going to use the little sentiment that says just checking in. And I'm going to use my white craft pad for this. I'm not going to emboss. I'm just going to use the white ink straight on here. Now, when you guys order this craft pad, it is going to have no ink on it at all. It's just going to be the little rubber pad. It's actually going to come with a bottle of white pigment ink. You're going to then, I guess, lube up your, I don't know if lube is the appropriate word, but you're going to ink up, lube up, whatever word you want to call it, your ink pad. And that is how you're going to get your ink pad nice and juicy. Okay, so that is the ink just on there just by itself. Now, it is very subtle, but I actually like that. I was like, looking at it with having white embossing powder, which I'm gonna be honest with you guys, we don't have it in stock right now. As you guys know that we have a new manufacturer who is making our embossing powder, and the basics is not available. So I kind of wanted to show you guys a different way of doing things without having to worry about embossing. Now, this only works like this on a dark colored cardstock, like black, or what is another color that we have that's pretty dark? Early espresso would work. Any of those dark colors that could hold the ink would work well with this. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this at an angle. So the way I do it is, now that I have cut that angle, I can now line that angle up on any one of my lines to cut this side to make it be the same. So for here, I'm gonna line that up. If I need to move it over just a little bit, I can. And then holding both sides, cut that, and voila, I have the same angle on both sides. So one's not, you know, more angled than the other one, and then it looks kind of goofy. Just line up your other side to one of your lines to get the other angle of the other side of your cut. Okay, so again, like I said, it's very subtle, but it still shows up. We're gonna take that and we're just going to place that. I want it to lift up a little bit of this leaf. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add just a dot of glue over here, and I'm gonna put a dimensional over here. And then we're going to kind of just take this and do the tuck. Pick this up, maybe if you can, and then slide that right kind of up underneath there, but we don't want it covering any of our words. And then just go just like that. There we are. And see, with that blue, it really kind of brings out that white on there so you can see it. Okay. So let me move all my scraps. So there is card number 1. Let's add a little bit of bling to this. So when you get the whole suite collection, you're gonna also get the Opal Rounds assortments. So as you can see, these come in a Night of Navy. It also comes in the peach pie and then a clear white. So they are very pretty. I think what I'm going to do on this card is we're gonna add some blue, just because we only have this single blue here. So we're just gonna add a couple of these on here just to add kind of a pop of that. There we go. Okay. And there is, well, we have to do the inside. See, look at me. I'm getting a little too eager here. Let's see our stamp set. I think I might actually put a couple of these little flowers. We put just checking in on the outside. We can say, you're the best kind of person, all the love, or hello. I think I'm gonna say you're the best person, because we're checking in on them. And we wouldn't check on somebody we don't like, right? No, I'm just kidding. Well, maybe we wouldn't, but Let's take, I'm gonna use peach for that, but then I need Night of Navy, because that's what I'm gonna stamp. Because we have white in the inside here, we need to take Night of Navy to do the sentiment on the inside, because white on white's not gonna work. So let's try You're the Best Kind of Person. So I'm gonna do this, I guess I'll do it in the center. Okay, just like that. Then we are going to take those flowers. Let's take one of these little blocks here, and we're gonna take a couple of these little flowers, just like so, using peach pie. I'm gonna stamp that right like so. Okay, I'm gonna clean that off. And just using one of these flowers, I'm gonna do this right over here, just like that. Those almost remind me, now I could be completely crazy, but they remind me of starfish. So depending on what you were stamping, if you have something that is kind of nautical looking, you could do these in like a blue and they would look like starfish, I think. I know my mom's dog is probably making all of your guys' dogs go crazy. The ups man must be here. Okay, so that is the inside of our card, and that is the outside of our card. Very simple, but I think very elegant in the same sense. Okay, so that's card number 1. So let me set that aside somewhere so I don't get ink all over it. I've got ink going on. Let me clean off some of these. Okay. There we go. All right. Card number 2. I love this card. Now, we had a challenge on over on the 2024-2025 catalog kickoff over on Barb, Dina, and Kelly. They have a catalog kickoff happening. And so there was a card challenge, a layout challenge that I went ahead and participated in. So that's where I came up with this card, which was perfect because I knew I needed a card to come up with for this class. So it just kind of worked out perfectly that they had a card challenge going on. Okay, so my base is Night of Navy. This is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Okay, there is that. Now I have a piece of that designer series paper here. Oops, I have some things stuck to me. This is just that, more of that tile look to it. That is going to be my next layer. Then I have 3 little pieces here. This is crushed curry. Now these are 3 1/2 by 1/2. So these are just going to get adhered just like that on here. I have taken a scrap of white and I have used the largest circle from Stylish Shapes. And I have die cut a white circle. And when I have that, it is right here. It is gonna go right like that. Obviously, we're gonna glue things so it's not all crooked. Then a piece of that designer series paper, I have cut out a portion of that lemon. I'm going to fussy cut this. Then I need a piece of gold foiling. I need a couple scraps of the gold foil, and I need a scrap of Night of Navy. I'm going to cut 3 of those leaf pieces from the gold foiling, which I've already done to save us time. And then I have another little strip of the designer series paper, so I can put that on my inside. And then I have a white base for the inside as well, just like so. Okay, so I'm gonna set just all these things up on here, hoping that I don't lose them as I'm cutting and getting the rest of this all prepared. So with this, I need to grab my mom bought me a pair of scissors that work really well for, but I guess they must have fallen out. Are they in my bag? I must have knocked them out and set them there. They must be on my desk at home. So I am just going to fussy cut this paper, which is very easy to do. And you don't have to be perfect. Don't think you have to be a scissor expert to do this. Because trust me, I am not a fan of fussy cutting, but there are certain papers that I don't mind cutting over other papers, and this is one of them. Especially when the results are rewarding, it's worth taking the time to just fussy cut your paper. Because this paper here is not the one that I was telling clearly lines up with one of the dies, because I would not be going through all this. So those of you guys who have ordered my paper share, my order came in on Friday. And so I will work this week to get those out. So yay, order came in way sooner than what I was anticipating when I had created the paper share. So you guys are gonna be getting your paper hopefully earlier than what was anticipated. Woohoo, I love that. Now, as you can see, when you're fussy cutting, and most of you probably already know this, but sometimes we have new people to us, and we've got to tell you guys all the tips and tricks, is that you never want to move your scissors. As you can see, I have never, not to say never, but I have rarely moved this hand. I am moving the paper with this hand over my, my left hand is moving the paper around. And I am just kind of following it around with the scissors. Now coming in here is a little bit tricky. Well, Kim, you're hired. I don't like doing it, but I do it. It's okay. I'm not a fan, I will tell you that much. I get a little bit frustrated. But it's rewarding once I get it done, and it turns out pretty okay. There's some people that I've watched do fussy cutting. Man, they make it look like a cakewalk. If I could only make it. I mean, I've seen some people that they do it so quick and they're just right around all the edges, and yeah, that's not me. Nope, no, nope, nope. But it turns out, and I'm okay with the way that it turns out. It still looks very good. I'm going to move this off of this for a second, and I'm going to get these set up. Now, the way that I'm going to put these is I'm going to leave a bigger space towards the bottom than I am up here. And let me tell you, another good thing about this paper is, look, all of these are in a row. So I know when I lay this down, I can cut one of those flowers in half and I can watch the center of those flowers to make sure that's straight. I like it. I like when I've got a guide. I mean, I've got the grid on this, but it's not quite the same. Okay. There's that one. Again, a very, very nice layout for you guys to use here. Hopefully you guys join the challenge if you're over there on the catalog kickoff. They had me rolling the other day. They had their meet and greet. Oh my Lord. They were talking about the trip to Mexico. I swear I almost peed my pants. It was hilarious listening. They went on a, Kelly, Dina, and Barb went to Mexico with our incentive trip through Stampin' Up. And they had went on a zip line. And you guys, it is a riot to listen to them talk about going on the zip line. I was rolling. If you guys have a chance to check it out, I did reshare it. So you guys can find it over on my page. Now that's going to be on my personal page because since it's a group, I can't share group things here on my business page. So you guys were gonna have to go over there and check that out. It is just a hoot. All right, this circle I'm going to put directly down. Okay, I'm watching both of these to make it centered because that's how I can see the distance. All right, just like that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some dimensionals and we're going to place this big piece down. I'm gonna use a couple of small ones just to kind of, especially like this leaf that's kind of just free floating here. We don't want it getting lost or torn off of our card. Oh yeah, you'll definitely have to watch it. It is, I'm telling you, it was a hoot. Okay, I'm gonna place that right like that. Okay, and then now, with our little pieces here, we are gonna take these and we're going to tuck. I think I'm gonna use this one. Yep, nope, that's gonna stay there. I like that. Just like that. These leaves really kind of dress things up. I'm really liking them. And especially with the gold just really adds kind of a whole pop to your card. Okay, there's that. Let's go ahead and get this adhered onto that blue. Isn't that stunning? Oh, love it. Okay, there's that. Now I am going to I'm going to use the little yellow ones. I didn't do the yellow in my original card, but I really think I kind of like they're actually the peach pie. Look, I used the clear on here, but I think I want the yellow on there because we've got so much of that going on this card. We're going to go for it. Okay, we're going to take that one and set it right in the middle of that flower. Then I'm going to take another big one. And then a little one right there. Yep, that's pretty. Okay, because it kind of has that gold leafing inside of that, so it looks really good with that gold. All right, now we got to do the sentiment here. Our sentiment piece. So what I have planned for this is I need my trimmer. I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut this at 3/4 of an inch. Let's see if that's going to be big enough. Yep. 3/4 of an inch. Like so. And I am going to find my sentiment, and there is this little swishy hello. And now we're going to use some embossing powder. We're going to be using gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my little embossing buddy here, powder that up, take my little hello, stamp that like so. Okay. Close that before I even open up my embossing powder here. And I'm going to grab tweezers because this is little and I'm not trying to burn myself. And I'm just going to dip that in that gold, just like so. Now, before I kick on that heat, I'm going to close back up my embossing powder and move that away from any heat that I'm going to be putting onto my table over here. Oops. Now it's going to take a couple of seconds for that to heat up. But then when it does, voila, it just kind of melts like butter. Okay, so there's that. Now I need my paper trimmer again. And this time I'm going to turn this and I'm going to give that another cut angle there, just like so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing on this piece of gold. So holding it the same way. Oops, I need to line that up better. Actually, I need a piece of this tape. I didn't get my tape long enough, dang it. Okay, that works. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this Now it can be the 3/4 as well. It doesn't have to be, because I actually want it just a skosh smaller, because it is going to be hidden. Ah, dang it. Because it's going to be hidden back behind my sentiment. So it's just going to be just this little piece, same shape. I made that way harder than what it needed to be. But I'm just gonna go like that. It's gonna be off-centered. It's going to be shorter than my little blue piece here, but it's just going to sit right behind that, just kind of adding another little element to this. So I'm just gonna place that right like so. Like that. It's just kind of another little thing that grabs your eye. And that is gonna go right down here, because I think if I was to just do the blue, it'd probably get lost. Okay, so I'm just gonna use a dimensional on the back of that. Pop that up. And that is gonna go right like so. Okay. We are going to, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add a couple more of these. I'm going to add another big one right up here and a little one right down here. There we go. Because when you add your embellishments, you always want them to be in an odd number. It's what is appeasing to the eye. I know they're kind of hard to see, but they do shimmer and shine when you move your card around. You'll see them. Okay, so that is the outside. The outside is done. We're gonna go ahead and take this little strip right here that matches that designer paper. I'm gonna place that right in the inside there, like so. Hello, Denise. Okay, that is going to go right inside here. And I am not gonna stamp a sentiment in this one. I'm going to leave it for whoever wins this card to put whatever they want inside of it. Since we did a very like simple hello on the outside, I think it would be perfect to just leave it alone and let you stamp something in the inside. But there is card number 2. I think it's so stunning. I love it. This is probably my favorite out of these cards tonight, is this one. It's a little bit simpler, but I love the gold accents on it. I think it really kind of makes it bling. Okay, so that is card number 2. Let's get down to card number 3. Okay, so let me get out my little kit here. This one, our card base is going to be Garden Green. Let me get all my bits out. Okay, Garden Green, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, this card, you kind of have options with. So our piece of designer series paper is exactly the same size as our card front. So it is 5.5 by 4 1/4. That is going to cover our whole front of our card. Isn't that pretty? Then we have taken a piece of white. And so what I've done is I've just taken a piece of white scrap and this large die right here. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to go cut that out. And when I do, I'm going to get this large piece right here. Where did I put that? There it is. Okay. Then I need to grab a piece of that designer series paper. So I'm going to grab the peach. I think it's right here. So when I look at this, I have to figure out which one of these peaches is going to line up with my die. So I'm going to use this large one right here. And I need to figure out which one. Okay, so it's this one here, or is it this one here too? Okay, cool. I'm gonna cut that one out really quick. So I'm just gonna kind of just go right around this because I can still use this single one for something, but I don't want to destroy that. But see how there's all these little flowers sitting in here? I actually want one of those flowers. So I'm gonna also use, let's get this out of the way because it's kind of distracting to see all of this. I also want to take one of my small stars. You have 2 of the large stars and 2 of the small stars. I think I'm going to take this small star. Oops, I don't know why I put this thing away. All right, so now I'm going to grab the big embossing machine for this just so I can cut out all of this together. And let me grab my plates. Okay, you have to use 2 plates here. And so as you can see, one of mine is like nicer and newer looking. And then the other one is the one that I put on the bottom, which is going to get all the cutting into it. And that's why you can see where it looks like it's all kind of chopped up. That's why. Okay, so we're gonna take this, move my little star for the moment. Line this up on here, like so. Okay, I think that looks good. Let me grab a piece of my tape and stick that down. Okay, that's there, and I need my flower. So I'm just gonna do this little one right here. Now, these little flowers are a little bit tricky. So you just gotta kind of turn them. Oh, and I actually got that one perfect. That doesn't happen very often. You should have seen me fiddling with it. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that, put that over the top of that. Okay, and then now we're gonna roll this baby through. And did you guys see what I did? What a goofball. I can't get to the handle if it's way over there. Okay, so we'll just do a little flipperoo here. And put some muscle into it and get that baby through there. Oops. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. I dropped it. Yeah, I dropped the plates off of that when I spun it around. Sorry.
That's all right. As long as you're not hurt.
No, I'm not hurt. You'd have probably heard a couple of foul words out of my mouth if I was a hurt.
You're telling me that?
I'm saying, yeah, I'm saying that.
I didn't hear that. All I heard was...
Oh, I said if I would have dropped that on my toe, you would have probably heard me. They would have heard me say some pretty not so friendly words either. Because that would have really hurt. Okay, so with this piece here, I'm going to hang on to this because this still has some good flowers in it. So I'm kind of a hoarder. Don't tell. Try to utilize every little piece of my paper because that's just how I roll. All right, so there. It even cut out those 2 little pieces right there that were in the center of this flower. I love that it does that because there's no way in the world I could have been able to cut that out. All right, there we go. Here's what we need. Let's get rid of that. We're gonna bring this back in here. Now, we had that brush that we just used on that other card, but that's not what I used. Hold on. I think I used yellow. Yep, I did. So hold on. Don't listen to what I just said. I was just kidding. I was just kidding. Okay, I'm going to use daffodil actually. And let me grab my brush up here because that one has too much orange on it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab daffodil and just get a light little swishy on here. Don't lose my flower. And then just get some of that ink dispersed around in that brush and just very, very softly just start adding just a little bit of color. Now it's very soft. You can go as intense or as little as you want, but I will tell you it really makes all the difference in the world by adding this color to the back of this. Because see, look, if I flip this over and if I was to add this to that, it looks very kind of naked. As my friend Christy says, I think she's on here right now, everything is naked. It's a crick and it's naked. So I just don't like it on, it's just too much white. So watch, when I flip this over, now that I just added a little bit of that yellow on there, it really kind of softens everything up. I mean, we can add a little bit more to it, even. We'll go like that. We're gonna call that good. And then you put that on there, and maybe it's because you can see the white lines of this that just make it look so much better than if it's just on white. I don't know. I kind of like it. I think it definitely adds something. Okay, so I'm just going to take this paper here and just add this right to my base. Okay, that's gonna go there. This is then gonna go right here. Whoops, don't lose all my papers. Okay, that's gonna go on there. So you're not gonna see much of that designer series paper, but that's okay. There's enough to really make all your colors kind of blend. Okay, we're gonna pop this up, grab some dimensionals, get rid of the dog hair. I think I do need another one on that side, but I'm just gonna use a little one right over here and right there. Okay, and this, I'm gonna just take it and turn it just like that. Okay, my little flower is here, so let's make sure I don't lose that. Now, this is where I was saying to either send you the banner or send you a scrap like this. So let me show you what I was kind of talking about. Let me grab my sentiment. All the Love is what I'm choosing to use in this. And I am using my garden green. So if I was to send you the banner and I was to try to Stampin' this, you're gonna have to really probably stand up, pop your butt out, because it's not easy to see from like my angle where I'm at. I actually nailed it. Woohoo, yay me. I normally would never be able to do that in something that small, but winning. Normally what I would do is I would take this and I would stamp it on my scrap. Then I would come over here and I would grab my, and especially on camera for that to happen. Oh, somebody's yay me. I would normally lay this on there like that to make sure that it was centered and done right. And then I would take my tape and then I would cut this through. So that's where I was saying that I need to hear from you guys who have placed orders with me and who get my kits. What do you prefer? Do you prefer a little label like this to come to you and then you just kind of hold your breath and cross your fingers and hope you can stamp in it? Or do you want a, you know, a larger piece of scrap for a banner that you can cut? And you may not have the same exact, you know, die that I have, but this is from the Stylish Shapes is what I'm using. But I don't expect everybody to have everything. So that's where it's kind of, you know, I'm going to probably get a lot of mixed reviews. So, and depending on how small it is, you know what, I could probably include this and a scrap of paper. You know, I mean, just to be honest with you, because then you guys can decide which way it's going to work for you. That's probably what I'll do anyways. Okay, this piece here is going to go right across the center of my floral image. And what I need is I also brought over, where is it? Yeah, it's missing. There it is. I brought over my linen thread. And what I'm going to do with this linen thread is I'm just going to take my thumbnail and kind of run down that, straighten it out a bit, because when it's on this roll, it really gets to twisting and it's hard to play with at that point. I'm just going to tie a bow here. Okay, and then find my scissors. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and adhere this. I'm going to place this right like so. And see, and even though I love those little holes, I just covered them up. Go figure. Okay, I'm going to take a mini dimensional, roll it up like a taco. I'm going to place that right here on my stem. And then this bow is going to go right like that with its little curlies. And then my flower is right here. I'm going to also take a mini glue dot. Now, with the sides of this, I'm going to just pop up those petals because I want this to kind of be standing up like a flower. And then that is going to go right in the center, off-centered of that flower there. Okay. Now, we need to, where is it? The inside of my card, the little paper for the inside of my card, my designer series paper there. Oh, we need to add embellishments to this. I'm gonna add the white ones onto this one. And then we can actually take this and tuck it behind that if we want, so it's not being so crazy and out of control. And so I'm gonna take one of the little white ones and do it right in the inside of this flower. Oh yeah, I like the white on there. I'll show you the other one that I did because I did the yellow on the other one. Or not yellow, unless those are daffodil. I don't know. I don't even know what color they are. Maybe you guys can tell me, are they peach or are they white? I mean, are those peach or are they daffodil? It probably says in the book somewhere. Oops, I just grabbed a yellow one. See? Here I am talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing. You guys were probably like, no, you're grabbing the wrong one. Okay, there we go. So here it is with the little yellow daffodil. This one I have done the white, so you can see which one you like better. If you like the, it's pretty hard to tell the difference, but I do like the clear white, whatever. So let's do the inside of our card here. I got a glue booger. Now on this paper, I did realize that it is directional. At first I didn't think it was, but I have been really flipping it upside down and all around. And I do think there is a direction to it. The stems kind of run a certain way. You'll have to look at it when you order this paper, or if you already have this paper, you can look at it and see if you think there's actually a direction or if I'm just losing my mind, which is a very good possibility. Do you know me? Okay, so let's put this, all the love. Again, I think I'm gonna leave this. We can put you're the best kind of person, or we can just leave it alone. I mean, I really like that font with I'm gonna do it. I'm going to commit. Where's my garden green? You're the best kind of person. We're gonna stick that right down here. Beautiful. Oh, love it. Now, if you wanted to, we could actually stamp a couple of little flowers. I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it alone because I think this paper does just enough for that. And then you still have space to write on there. But just to let you guys know, you could add a couple of those stamped flowers on there in the daffodil. So let's go ahead and add this to the inside. Okay, and then I will bring in all three of these cards. Okay, there's card number 3, card number 2, card number 1. I hope you guys enjoy these. I love this set. I was in the middle of creating another card when I got everything together. I think I'm gonna probably use that as a blog card. On Thursday, I like to try to do a blog card that matches my current set of the week and have just another little inspirational card to give out for the week for you guys that kind of match my weekly kit. And so I hope you guys enjoyed these. I love this set. It really is just a gorgeous, I think it's kind of different than anything we've had in a while. And I remember when we had the peach set, Sweet as a Peach, I think was what it was called. And but it didn't have these colors to it. So this is just beautiful that you can kind of create different fruits with that and whatnot, you know. And then you get a very good variety of different colors of cards here. So this is called the Mediterranean Blooms Sweet Collection. If you're just looking for the stamps and the dies, that is called the Citrus Blooms. So you have options, but you're definitely going to want to get the paper and you're definitely going to want to get that set because you kind of have to have it all to go together, just the way it is. So you're just going to really want to get that collection. All right, you guys, have a very, very, very wonderful rest of your week. I will see, God, words are hard right now. I will see you guys on Wednesday for mystery stamping. I wasn't sure about it, but with that navy, Night of Navy, it's gorgeous. Yeah, isn't this pretty? Hi, my love. You come to say hi to everybody? So Miss Katie Cat just stepped in. So let me flip this around so Katie Cat can say hi. Oh, careful. Okay, hold on. Hold on. You want to say hi? I was just about ready to hit the end button.
I know.
So hold tight.
We ran in here.
Hold tight. I'm going to flip you guys around really quick. So hold tight. Don't get sick. Katie Cat wants to say hi to everybody. Say hi, Katie Cat and Dad. Dad's going to make a card with us one of these days. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. I know you were putting your hand up. Say hi, but don't hit my buttons yet. You say hi to everybody. All right. Okay, you guys, have a great rest of your week. I will see you guys on Wednesday for mystery stamping. And again, I will be back next Monday for you guys. So I will see you soon. Bye. Love you all.